Hi, I've been doing some work on some things to secure the house locks. You could get over the back fence and come straight through the window, open the window, slide the window open and take a rope off the handle, believe it or not, of the door, gigantic aluminium door. It's under construction, that bathroom, and come straight in over the back fence. Out the front you wouldn't have seen anyone. But that's not what today's subject's about. It's 11:30. I looked back, and whilst I was making the videos earlier this morning to do with milk, I wrote up here was the last one that I wrote on the board about. And I also spoke about at 10:19. I looked on the information of the video. The video started at 10:19 about exposing young ones to clairvoyance, etc. Check it out. It'll be up on the page. And I want you to especially check it out at the rate of speed that I was talking. And before that, I was talking about milk that was in my coffee. And before that, I was talking about parasites in another video. And it's no wonder that I was talking at an accelerated rate. My milk in the fridge, and that's why I went on to the topic of milk. My subconscious, my clairvoyance was talking about the milk. There's problems with the milk, and it's tainted. Hey, I've got an industrial chemist, and somebody, I'm not going to say who it was, but somebody was just about yelling in their backyard at an all rate of speed of talk. And I think he was recording it, maybe even CGIing, maybe even computer enhancing the voice and making out as though it was me. And this is how they call the police 1,000,000 times to my door, ambulances and etc. Just a nasty, nasty game, Mr. Industrial Chemist. Whoa. As you can see, and I'm going to put the milk video because the sound cut out. I described that I was going to do a video on milk, and then the sound cut out because I went away out of the Bluetooth zone, came back, and it didn't. Well, hang on a sec. The voice shouldn't have dropped off. My microphone was always on. It was on the link to the device. I don't know what happened because device mysteries, phenomenon, happen all the time. And so what happens, they'll tell you after you come down from drugs, you go through an anger. And at the end of one of my videos made this morning on the 14th of May, 2026, this one's been going for 3 minutes and 20 seconds. I'm sweating like a pig, and I haven't done anything. I drilled a hole, big deal. In the windowsill to affix the window lock, bolt lock. Man, and that's where I heard him yelling, supposedly on the phone. Or I didn't hear what the subject was, but I'm sure it's recorded and the voice has changed and etc. or something like that. Nasty, nasty game, and I hope this video gets through. And I'm going to put the video of the milk video on the end of this for those that do sign language and read lips to be able to tell you the rate of speed, especially that I was talking at, and what I spoke about. The subject matter. It was a bit obscure. It was really fast. It was rapid. It was jumping everywhere. Pulp Fiction, I call it. But looking back now, that's what all the Pulp Fiction videos are about, now that I've calmed down. Listen, I had an episode like this, an event like this in Bunnings just the other day, and somebody came up to me and very willingly had a terrific conversation with me, talking at rate of speed as well, to encourage me or to make me feel comfortable that I was talking at that rate of speed, smiling at me all the time for ridiculous matters of talking about batteries and stuff. And then I went outside and I realized that I was in really bad shape. psychologically with what was going on. I didn't realise, and I never do, because there's 1,000 different chemicals they can ingest into your body. I told you in prior videos that vets have microscopic chemicals through skin contact that can knock out an elephant. Microscopic, I'll repeat that. So everything that I did say was on point, but I was speaking at an all rate of knots, just accelerated talk. And it's just disgusting. Why do this to me? I haven't caused harm to anybody whatsoever. And I've always tried to maintain a good character and a helpful character, especially with my neighbours in the complex. Just really, really horrid. Some of the things going on nowadays. So that's going to chase lots of people off. I also believe that they're using these videos. They don't get out anywhere. They don't get exposed to the public. I had one video yesterday that got 250 hits within half an hour, but I believe that it's the only video that they released and got lots of people in the network to watch it and clock up. Maybe they were clocking it up. And my videos don't actually get anywhere. I'm keeping all of these and I'm putting them onto micro card and of course hiding the card. I'm only hiding my own videos, so no harm done. Hopefully you might get this. The other videos that I spoke about this morning were quite important, in particular herpes, the herpes virus, the herpes parasite, 6 different parasites and etc. But at an accelerated rate of knots. Just terrible. And now that I've calmed down, in Bunnings, I came out and had a Bunnings sausage, and bang, I was as right as rain. So I have a tendency to think that they're putting these particular chemicals in my food through an oil, or the oils in the sausage, because I had 3 all up and was just absolutely fantastic, totally lethargic for the rest of the day. All the scenarios of being drugged or having drugs, recreational, whatever you want to call it. I don't think it's recreational stuff they're putting into me. I saw a word fantasy the other day written on the side of a building, and it really stuck out to me. So there's highs, there's lows, there's accelerated drugs. There's all sorts of drugs, thousands of different ones that also excite pheromones, sexual pheromones and stuff like that. Luckily for me, I've got diabetes and that I'm asexual. I spoke about it. I'm never ever into the one night stand or anything like that. And I'm not the Michael Jackson that says he's a lover, not a fighter. I'm none of that. My love is a different love. It's a love for family. I'd do anything to help save whatever, my own family. But when they're targeting you because they want your science, they want your videos, and they want to make their own videos with what you're saying, oh man, and they're all attacking you. Holy crap, getting paid. They're on the payroll. All of them are on the payroll. Pretty disgusting. Anyhow, that's your life, and you're dragging me into your life. That's the biggest problem. Dragging me into your life. I want nothing but to disassociate with you. But you get in trouble if you disassociate. Hey, you're an ignorant prick or whatever. And they love to spread those videos. Videos have been going over and over and over and over again. People getting paid who are iced up on recreational crap and giving me the crap in my food 5 or 6 years now. So they got to bury me socially. They got to bury me, and hopefully they'll bury me in another way. But they'll never get me. I've got recognition. I don't care if life stops here. I don't care if I'm just drilling holes and tinkering with stupid bits of wood. I'll be doing that for the rest of my life. I don't care. I'm going to beat you, and I'm going to stay alive very easily. Hey. You're so intelligent, you guys. really. You're prompted by other people. You don't come up with these ideas yourself. They engage somebody like an industrial chemist, and hey, what can you do? Oh, I can do amazing things with chemicals. Yeah. How much are they giving me? Take that in consideration. If you're a buffhead like that, how much do you think he's using? Hey? And he's killer partner. Hey? Any way they can, they'll kill you off socially. Anyhow, have a good day, folks. I've got to get my teeth fixed. G'day again there, folks. Today I'm going to talk to you about milk. Just 1 second. The Cox studio needed a little bit of brightening up. Sorry about that interruption. So I'm going to talk to you about milk. I can't be bothered editing at all nowadays. So I had this gut feeling for quite some time that I was drinking too much milk. I started questioning what was in milk and looked at all the different varieties of milk, and then looked at the fridges full of the different milks. I'm not implying that people are doing a bad job or anything corrupt, etc. I'm not implying that at all, and I'm not in any way inferring that at all. What I am saying is that there were so many different varieties. Should I go organic milk? Or, organic milk's got to be fantastic, but I can't afford that, etc. So what happened was, and I talked to a lot of people, a few people, fantastic people that just love animals to death. I'm an animal lover. That's not a noun. Sorry about that. Who were vegan. And this vegan looked really ridiculous to me. But I noticed that these people were spiritually supported in different ways. And so I kept saying that I dread the idea of giving up meat because of the iron content, only because of the iron content. When you heat the meat, you kill all the minerals anyway. So I was getting a good mineral supply, which overcomes long-term dementia and whatnot. They say in naturopathy, the 4 Ds. I can't remember what they are, but it's a little bit like getting dehydrated. There are a number of stages in becoming dehydrated, which can cause death, the same as dementia. And we had a case when I was studying dehydration. We had a case on Moreton Island where a chap had a bad hangover, not on a summer's day, I don't think it was, and they didn't say he had a bad hangover. They said he got lost, disorientated, and if you think of the man in the desert, that's what happens to the man in the desert. He starts to get his imagination starts to play on him. This is where I learnt about dehydration being a medium. Working the markets being a medium, even not on a summer's day, I would drink 10 litres of water. I would take a 10-litre container, and then at the end of the day, 8 hours, I would look forward to buying a nice cold water out of the news agency that was nearby in South Bank Markets, where I first worked 32 years ago, whatever, under the absolutely gloriously beautiful Jane Powers. What an amazing woman. Man, that lady should have been, they don't call it a knighthood for a woman, do they? She should have been damed for what she did for Brisbane, starting with the Cats Tango restaurant, etc. Anyhow, wonderful lady, put me in the markets, made me feel so proud just for the fact that she encouraged me for what I did, and sat in the markets 32 years ago, I think it was, for a couple of years, and there was a lady nearby who became very famous. Oh my God, I remember her beautiful assistant. Gay Wright. She went to England and etc. She was nearby me, and anyhow, it wasn't that she competed against me. Gay Wright wasn't like that, never like that, and you can't be like that when you're a medium excelling. I just went on to other things within mediumship. So let's get back to milk, hey? My God. So let me finish about dehydration. It's important to tell you that so you start to get disorientated. Your imagination starts to play on you. You get disorientated as to where you are. You might have experienced that from times. And then your imagination goes even worse, and you start to think of the man in the desert who hallucinates. You can hallucinate. And drinking alcohol doesn't satisfy your body's thirst. Okay, so don't go trying to stay hydrated on alcohol. The stronger the alcohol, the worse it'll be. Full stop. We'll leave that there. Hey, don't get me wrong. I'm not I'm not an alcohol basher, because I used to drink, and I just got sick of the hangovers. When the hangovers lasted 3 days, I gave up. Hey, but there was a stage. Some of the lads can tell you, when I worked in the Brisbane Marriott Hotel as their electrician, where I was drinking with the young lads at about 32 or so, or 30, 33 years old. And as a naturopathist, I devised an absolute total cure within the hour for a hangover. And they wanted me to market it, and there were things like that happening in the pubs, marketing breath analysis and stuff. But at that time, we couldn't market a hangover cure, but they do now. So I couldn't devise another one now, because I don't drink and won't. I won't be drinking and to devise another hangover. But anyway, so we'll get back on the subject of milk. Hey, it's a bit Pulp Fiction. I'm a bit excited today from the coffee I had. The body's running better and better all the time with parasite cleansing and changing things, tweaking things. And I'm realising right now it's actually the reason why I've gone to another level of my body functioning better and brain functioning better is because I've given up milk. And let me tell you, in the first 2 months of giving up milk, drinking 2, sometimes 3 litres a day, maybe only 1 litre sometimes, I suffered withdrawal severely. And luckily I knew what withdrawal was. I had studied it on giving up alcohol and other things. But I suffered withdrawal. And there were days when I had to just stop the car and go and get a milk from the garage in whatever form. And scull it down, feeling so much better afterwards. That's when you know you're suffering withdrawal. Hey, I fell off the milk wagon. Ernie will be so proud of me, so disappointed in me falling off the wagon. He drove the fastest milk cart in the West, that guy. Anyhow, Benny Hill. So I gave up milk, suffered withdrawal. I was changing milks, etc. There was a number of milks that were really definitely fantastic milk. I became what I said as a bit of a milk connoisseur, and I'm still a pie mongerer. I'm still a pie connoisseur and a water connoisseur. I love a good glass of water. I would like to try that water from a nearby source here where I live. That's a food source, a water source coming from deep within the blue metal rock. A chap told me about it, whose son, the father who owns the property with that source, his son told me about it, and he said that Coca-Cola tapped in through an angle from a property next door to tap into his source of blue metal water, the purest, they said. Anyway, sidetracked again. It's all important, and it's all relevant too. It's all about drinking. So I snuck some little laws in on you there. See what they did? See what they did? Now, this is actually not mediumship. I haven't heard anything from spirit so far. This is my own clairvoyance. Because I'm not earning money from it, it's not a psychic ability. So it's my clairvoyance that I'm using at the moment. I'm reaching into not the conscious mind. My conscious mind is saying the words. My subconscious might be something that's active back there in memory, per se. But this is what I call my super subconscious, my God force mind. That's where I'm reaching back and grabbing information from and bringing it forward into my conscious mind and activating the voice box. There you go. There's all the mechanics of it. So, gave up milk. Let me show you where I'm at. And it's going to change, but where I'm at right now is just inconceivably really good. So I went on to almond milk, and I didn't feel quite right about almond milk, but almond milk helped me give up milk, and that's when I suffered the withdrawal symptoms. And the percentage of almond products in there, and the types of products that the almond milk is made of, well, almond milk's okay. I would still drink it, wouldn't hesitate. I still got it in the fridge, in the cupboard. So what I did, I'm excited, in the last week, I've started to change to buying coconut milk off the shelf in the little cartons, just like the almond milk. And I was buying the unsweetened everything, almond, coconut, whatever, and the cheapest, and just putting up with the taste. And so the only time I'm drinking it is in my coffee, quite a large amount of milk in my coffee, and occasionally a swig, in the glass, decant into a glass and have a swig out of the glass on a hot day. Almond milk, actual dairy milk, and the milk I'm about to show you, coconut milk, is definitely a food. Alcohol isn't a food. It would have to fall in the category of lollies, if you ask me, especially when you look at some of those blue and green drinks and carry on, and they're doing naughty things with alcohol too, manufacturing alcohol. Well-known fact, they're using ethanol and stuff like that. That's killing people. Really, really bad. Some people make their own alcohol and stuff, and that's just too convenient, if you ask me, to become your own enabler, and other people that you give the bottles to also become your enablers, telling you you're doing a fantastic job, tastes great, and all the rest of it. So what happened is I went on to coconut milk, and I decided one day, with a few minutes to spare, to study the contents, the side, the label. I've been studying labels for about 30 years, non-stop, through the supermarkets. There's a new product, get to know it, etc. Get to know the best of those, etc. And when I compare it to my favourite store always has the best, slightly better products, health-wise, than what I'm reading in the other stores. But when it comes to shopping, I treat it just like we would when we lived on the land, before we had markets and etc. Back in the days when I was a Neanderthal, and you would go here and there, etc., for different fruits and different seasons for fruits, with something that my mother-in-law taught me about fruits, that that's what every season is for. And I don't get into the special Murcott mandarins or whatever, but I do get the middle road for price and etc. So what I've swapped to, and when I grabbed that label and started reading about coconut milk this time, had read about almond milk and etc., as you can see with what I said, I saw the percentage, and that somewhat shocked me. Remember, I'm buying the cheapest, and so what happened was it still tasted really good. And it was 8% coconut milk. I think it said 8% coconut cream. Please excuse me, I haven't named a brand, so that doesn't matter. So, but what I decided was, being the great blender that I am, I love the stick mixer. So all of these milks that I'm talking about, I used to blend with my raw vegetables and protein powder that I buy from Coles, 82% protein. And I was on my way, I'm on my way to giving up meats. That's my main priority. So two things make you emotional. Coffee is definitely one of them. I shouldn't have had a coffee this morning. And also baby spinach leaves make you somewhat emotional. Can put you on a little bit of a roller coaster. That can be embarrassing when you're an Aspergic person, undiagnosed. So anyway, let me bring out the surprise. You've been waiting, haven't you? And I've been getting you to hang on for 15 minutes on the edge of your seat. So what I'm having now is still coconut cream, but I had a can of it in the cupboard, and thought, well, it's this one is 82%. Isn't that peculiar? 82% organic coconut extract. So what they call coconut cream. Extract would have to mean that they extracted it out of the coconut, and it's the cream of the coconut. If you remember that there is coconut milk, and that would be the watery stuff. So the coconut cream would have to be what's on the lining of the coconut meat, let's call it, that's what they call it, on the inside. That would have to be coconut cream. I'm only assuming, and somebody will correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm buying cans of coconut cream, 87%. Let's call it 100% just for ease of crunching the numbers on the board. And what I'm going to do is crunch the numbers on a can of coconut milk. So you've got this can here is 400 milliliters. So 400 milliliters, and I'm not talking to those of you who are smart enough to work out and crunch the numbers yourself. So if I was to put that whole content of 400 milliliters into a container that held 1600 milliliters, this 400 milliliters of coconut cream would make the coconut milk made on coconut cream 25% coconut milk, diluted coconut cream, and let's call it coconut milk. So 25% in comparison to 8%, that's a good brew. Now let me also tell you that the can of coconut cream is in my cupboard for the purposes of a laxative. I would sit on the toilet, crack the coconut cream open, drink half of it, and it would activate almost immediately, and no residual, no ongoing. Just fantastic laxative. Molasses does the same, but that's for animals. Don't buy 2 liters of molasses from your produce store for animals, and keep it under your kitchen cupboard and drink a teaspoonful of it as a laxative, because it's just too powerful. And it's made for animals, 30 cents a litre. So anyway, great medicine, but don't do that because it's for animals, okay? It's okay for me to do it, but don't you do it, okay? Okay, kids at home. And kids shouldn't be watching this. Mums should be downloading this and editing their own version for the kids if they want to watch it. They might want to slow my talking down. Sorry, I had to put that in. So 1600 mil with a 400 mil can of coconut cream, you've got 25%. So let's double the amount of water. Let's go for 3.2 litres, 3,200 milliliters, and we've got 12.5% coconut cream. I know, 87% coconut cream. Some of you kids are really smart. Okay, so let's crunch the numbers on it properly then. So if we times 1600 by 0.87, we would get the right amount to get 25%. So I need a calculator to do that. And once upon a time, I never used to. So let me tell you, the calculator is now phasing back out of my life again. It's just wondrous. But 87% is a bit of an obscure number. So let's have a look at it. Damn password all the time. So we're talking about 1600 mil times by 0.87, which is 87%, equals 1,392 milliliters, and that can of 400 mil, a total of 1,392 milliliters to create 25% coconut milk. So if we were to double it times by 2, we would have 2.784 liters. Let's call it, let's round it off for ease of sake, they say. So you'd have 2.8 liters at 12.5% coconut milk. That's a good brew. That's a really good brew. And the coconut cream can costs about, remember, you don't need refrigeration right away. And let's remember that you keep it in the cupboard. You can take it camping with you when you gradually get to enjoy it only. And let me say, when I had a coffee this morning, I made a point to realise that, the first mouthful, I've only been on it for about a week. So in another week or another month, etc., I'm going to be looking forward to that first sip, no problems at all. I'm really enjoying the remainder of it, whether that's the fact that I'm drinking coffee and my body's going, yahoo, yahoo, I love that crap, because it is crap. So don't drink coffee. I didn't drink it until I got married, and I really regret it. My first coffee was at one of those big name, those big name takeaway restaurants, and it was really, really strong. Everything that the professor in naturopathy told us about coffee sitting in your large intestine and going rancid, I discovered that day was absolutely true. 2 hours later, for no reason, I was angry, and that's what she said. It causes the emotion, energy in motion that causes the emotion of anger. Coffee does, and when it goes rancid in your large intestine, goes off. It causes even more. So where are we at? 1,300 and something. So 2,800 milliliters, 2.8 liters of the 400, and the 400 ml can makes it 12.5%. That's going to be a nice brew. All that's left is to tell you about the container you need to use. And I probably don't need to tell you about a container. You don't necessarily have to. You really shouldn't put it in a milk container because it's not milk, dairy milk per se. And I will always have dairy milk in my fridge. But let me say that I noticed one day, and they changed the writing on the packet, that UHT milk, that's what it used to be called, that long life milk had written on the container that it was treated under ultra heat. Man, what's ultra heat? That scared the living daylights out of me, but I still bought it. So anyway, but I used to look at it like it was just white liquid. So UHT milk, long life milk, great to take camping, but I like to use my milk in that container. So normal people aren't going to reach for that straight away, and they're going to say, "Hey, Mick, what the hell's that doing in the fridge?" And I'll tell them and educate them, and they'll try it, of course. So anyway, that's your coconut milk for the day. I hope you enjoyed the video and all the other bits, semantics and sidetracks and pulp fiction in between. It's raining today, but hey, I have this philosophy on rain, and when you had to work in the rain and dig trenches, working for yourself, time constraints and the quotes and stuff you're given, you had to psychologically convince yourself that it was good to be there. And I came to the conclusion that you were either wet or you were dry. And 2 minutes after you got home, you were dry. Or carrying spare clothing in the van and a towel. 2 minutes after it stopped raining, you were dry. And when you're doing the hard slug on a pick and shovel, you're sweating anyway. And honestly, I love the idea of a brisk walk, a run, or exercise in the rain. It's great. I don't like anything above 100 kilometers an hour and an open face helmet in the rain. You've got to ride like this. That's what old Ronnie taught me. And I told Ronnie, just take it up a notch and your face goes all numb. And that's the way to ride in the rain. And I mean it. Your face literally goes completely numb. You can't feel a thing. You can't feel any of that. You can't feel that when you're riding in the rain above 20 kilometers an hour. And hey, don't stay well and truly under the speed limit. There's oil spillages nowadays and stuff way above what we endured. And the bitumens aren't the bitumens we had in our day. They were quite spiky in our day with better tyre grip, but they are quieter nowadays, which I believe is absolutely totally more important because we've got so much better tyres and things on the road. So boy, oh boy, did we sidetrack from milk or what? This has really turned out to be Pulp Fiction. Maybe I better say goodbye. We're coming up on 26 minutes, 10 seconds, 11 seconds, 12 seconds. Blessings in your day, folks, and there's the heads up on milk. I'll change it, of course. I'll go from something else. But coconut milk, coconut flesh, coconut everything is really, really good for your heart. The better your heart, the better you feel. Oh, I can't remember how that goes. Anyway, it's good for your heart. And I have definitely noticed that coconut cream mixed up to that percentage rate is quite filling. I feel quite good with it. Maybe I haven't looked into the preservatives that are in there, but it's in a can, so theoretically there should be less preservatives. So I use half a can to make a litre, and there it is in a nutshell. 27 minutes, 10 seconds, 11 seconds, 12 seconds. Why won't this thing turn off?